Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Hi, I'm Noble. I'm senior editor of the Miscellany News, and this is...
I'm Kelly Stout. I'm the ASU editor of The New Yorker.
Thanks so much for sitting down with us. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
So one of the things I wanted to ask, you graduated in 2010.
Yep.
And I was just curious, like, for you, what things have you noticed that are different in 2015?
The first thing I said to Emma when we came in was that the font on the signs has changed.
Really?
I have noticed that. Yep.
Well, that's very perceptive.
Yeah, you guys dropped the serifs, so big changes.
Yeah? Okay. Yeah, the school's really sort of taking a different direction.
Yeah, I can tell. I haven't been back a ton, so that was the first impression.
Well, do you have any memories that are, really fond memories of Vassar?
I have almost exclusively fond memories of Vassar. I loved going here. But
I guess it would be bad if, you came in and you were like,
no.
Nothing.
No, I don't. Let's see, I guess I should probably pick one great one.
If you want.
Well, God, I hope you're gonna be able to edit out my us from the tape.
Maybe we'll just leave it at the us.
I don't know if this counts because I wrote this in my. This was the same way that I answered this questionnaire that you guys emailed to me earlier in the week. But one of my greatest memories is a recurring memory, which is coming home from the Misc office late at night, feeling very delirious at 3 in the morning or so, and actually driving back to the THs, which is really a terrible use of gas and resources. But it was so late at night, and sort of feeling like a boss for having just finished closing night. That felt really good. It's one of my favorites.
I have to say I'm acutely aware. I can identify with that feeling of being really proud of yourself and also barely conscious at that point, not really stringing words together.
Yeah, probably shouldn't be behind the wheel of a car.
Right. Yeah. Well, the other thing I counter a lot. I don't know if this is common. Late night is deer. The
deer were a whole, I don't know if it's still this way, but when I went here, the deer were a whole issue. We always had, every fall we had to cull.
Yeah, the deer cull.
Whole bloody biodome sort of situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, anyway, that's why I probably wouldn't want to drive. But
yeah.
Well, okay, so now shifting to what you do now and your editor position, I was just, curious what, if you've encountered in your work any interesting people, any people that stick out in your mind, I'm really glad that I've been able to work with that person or meet that person.
I have the pleasure of working with very interesting people all the time. I am an editor I work with the editors much more than I work with the writers. So although I know a lot of the writers, it's rare that they stay in the office for an extended period of time, but one example is Lawrence Wright is a New Yorker reporter who has been in the news a lot recently because he wrote a book called Going Clear, which is about Scientology. And when I first started working at the New Yorker, he was working on the magazine piece that would become that book, which was called The Apostate. It was a profile of Paul Haggis, who's a director. And it was really early in my job at the New Yorker. And Lawrence Wright, he goes by Larry, was in the office all the time. And he is incredibly nice and easygoing and very easy to get to know. And he during the time that he was working on that piece, the staff sort of played a big role in that. The very junior level staff played a big role in that. Only in that he had documents upon documents related to this piece that he brought into the office, and so I got to interact with him. And he was sort of the first real journalist that I ever got to know, and he left a great impression on me, and I've been very fond of him ever since. And I was really happy to see that HBO made a documentary of his book that aired last week.
It's always
great. So he's on my mind a lot right now.
No, I was gonna say it's always great to hear about these big name people who actually turn out to be super nice and willing to help.
That is the case with New Yorker writers across the board. I mean, really, with very few exceptions.
Well, good to know. Another thing I have to ask, what your favorite punctuation mark is?
The period.
The period, okay. And any reasoning behind that?
It's very final. It gets its point across.
Fair enough. All right. Well, so we're gonna do a challenge, if that's
Okay.
all right. The headline challenge.
I saw the other two do this,
Right.
so I'm really nervous.
I feel like you'll probably. I feel like you've got this. So I'm gonna read a brief, a little prompt, a little summary of an article that's run recently. Okay. So, the Faculty Policy and Conference Committee has been working on a policy that will forbid.
Stuff.
That will forbid consensual sexual and romantic relationships between students and faculty members. And we've got one VSA member who responded saying individuals over the age of 18 can consent to sexual or romantic relationships. So this shouldn't be in place.
Okay. Well, this seems like a topic where a joke in the headline would be fun to go for at first, but ultimately probably wouldn't be appropriate. So I would probably say, what's the name of the governing body that did this? Not the VSA, but...
The Faculty Policy and Conference Committee.
Oh, fuck. Come on. You can't put that in a headline.
But you know what? I think faculty would work.
Okay. I would say college bans, professor-student... I don't know. Romantic relationships? That's pretty long.
Yeah. No,
Romance?
I have to say...
Professor-student romance.
You made, the call that we made, which is that, you could definitely pepper this with a lot of, fun jokes, but since it was sort of a breaking news story, we just went with a simple, college to men faculty-student relationships.
Yeah, that seems...
Like the safest way to go.
That's the best way to go. Off the record, though, I probably would have batted around a lot of inappropriate ideas.
Maybe if there's an underground edition of the Misc, that's sort of like a different take on the news.
Right.
Well, anyway, thank you so much.
No problem.
Really appreciate it.